record. There we go. And hello, everyone, for the 7 viewers that are going to be on YouTube and are probably about 17 now on Instagram. My name is Vicente Cruz. I'm the event and fundraising coordinator. This is our May public general business meeting. We're going to give it a few more minutes. We're waiting for a couple more members and then we'll start. Right now, we're just fucking riffing. And speaking of that, so piggybacking on what you said too, I go take another step down the rabbit hole. And it's not just that they're the Democrats. When you said the corporate donors, right? They're making a very good fucking living off of the current system the way it is. Fighting the good fight and all that shit, right? Oh, and now I can still go back and fucking shop on Amazon and drink my Starbucks, but yet it gives me this false sense of, oh, I'm a good person. It's fucking bullshit, right? So yeah, they don't give a shit because the system's working for them too.
Yeah, I was just contrasting it with the false promises that the Democrats make. That,
oh yeah,
the Democrats give the appearance that they're going to do stuff for the masses of the population, yet at the same time, the Democrats don't really care because they and their wealthy donors, like, as you said, are making a killing, and they don't want, and they actually don't want the people to have their needs met, because if the people had their needs met, they wouldn't need the damn politicians to keep begging to them.
Well, that is that again, that's, you can definitely say that's my anarchism, is that the real thing is about control, right? They don't want any social programs, healthcare, housing, all those different things, because all of a sudden they realize the same thing that really fucked up Occupy, right? It wasn't the arguments over whether we should be smoking pot there or not, or anything, right? It was over the fact that that was all being done for free, and all of a sudden the people realized, I don't need that motherfucking representative in Washington to govern me. Like, I could just talk to my neighbors, right? We can build our own community, and I think it's all about control. But then again, keep on going down the rabbit hole. Even if you want to keep the fucking, and I admit, I love video games. I say it often. I'd much rather not be doing this. I'd much rather be smoking pot and playing fucking NBA 2K. I wouldn't, but I just can't walk outside in good conscience. I'm not, so I try to do the best I can. But I think even in this form of fucking capitalism, there is a balance. That fucking Bezos's lifestyle isn't going to change. And that's what I base it, that it has to be control. Because you could fucking get everybody fucking into homes and give everybody health care. And, some people are just going to want to fuck off, but a whole bunch more are just, you give them the mental health services they need, give them the counseling they need, the fucking basic needs that they need. They're going to fucking go to work and going to pay your fucking taxes and support your fucking yachts. But no, you won't fucking do that, because again, it's about control. It's not about that shit, fucking, and you can keep on going down too. And the Democrats, for whatever reason, have no fucking ovaries, right? The two parties, like they used to be like a real fucking fight of ideas, even if they still went back and had the same steak dinner. But now it seems like they just don't even give a fuck. Like, they don't even care.
They think caring is a losing political strategy, frankly.
Oh, that losing is a political strategy.
No, the caring is a political.
That caring.
Yeah, caring is a losing political strategy.
Right.
So they can't afford it.
Right. Before we're almost ready, we're pretty already to start, because I'm still on the Ghettotron computer. Can someone pull up the agenda that was in just an email form?
I can't, but I don't even know how. So.
Well, it's in your email.
Well, but I don't know how to get to my email when I'm doing this.
Oh.
Right. My computer is being used for this.
Let's see. I bet I can find it.
You've never had 2 screens open at the same time?
I don't think so. Yeah,
That's the thing, is you have to have 2 screens open.
that's a technology.
In the chat. Take a look at the chat.
But I got it.
I put it in the chat. I beat you.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay. Let's see if I close that. Thank you. Yeah, that'll work. And of course, I remember the beginning. We don't need introductions, but agenda review. We have the virtual events, in-person events, movie nights, and possible changing with all the shit going on at It's Your Move. tabling outreach, transitions, public areas, voter guide, whoops, distribution, computer, social media, treasury, and announcements. Is there anything that we need to add?
I'd like to give a short report on SLAP.
Right, and I actually do also have a report back on the abortion rights, the
Oh, I
the
would love
body
to.
rights rally from yesterday. So why don't we start with, if everyone's okay, let's start with SLAP, the things that so I don't have to type them in there.
Right.
We'll start with SLAP and then the report back. Is there any
Okay.
other agenda items to add before I do that too? Hearing none. Michael, you want to give us a SLAP report back, please?
I did. There was a meeting last Thursday at Westlake Middle School. It was an in-person meeting, and there were about 50 people there. It was not as good a meeting as the previous ones. In my opinion, there was less honesty, frankly. There was a report on April 29th, which was considered a great success by the people who were giving the report, but I thought it was. I was expecting or hoping maybe for thousands, and we got hundreds instead. So I did not consider it a great success. And then the next day, the candidate forum was not as good either. The questions were not sharp. In planning the candidates forum, we were hoping to come away with finding out who's really willing to say out loud that they're on our side on our two big issues, the school closure and the port issue. And we didn't do that. We didn't succeed in that, in my opinion. And I think it's a problem that SLAP has, and that is SLAP has some genuinely radical people in it, but some of the people are tied to the Democratic Party, and I don't think that they really want to have an honest candidates assessment because they want to support, the liberal Democrats as usual. So SLAP has problems. I would say I'm going to continue being involved in it because there's enough good in it for me to continue, but it's not as good as I was hoping. Over.
Sorry about that. And when are those meetings virtual? They're virtual, right? On Zoom?
No, this last one was in person.
It was in person.
At Westlake High School,
That's
Westlake
right.
Middle
That's right.
School.
Sorry, you did say that. And are they on a scheduled day? Or are they always different?
There seems to be an informal steering committee which makes decisions about dates and stuff. So there's no regular schedule that I'm aware of.
Okay. Is there a way you can do we know when the next one is? Did they pick it at the last meeting?
They did not.
Okay, well, I would like to get that information.
Well, what I will do is I will send it out when I get it. I'm on the list, so I get when they do decide, I do get an invitation, and I will send those out.
Okay, cool. And does anyone have any questions about the report back? And hearing none. Actually, before, and I'm just doing this to remind myself that we do the report back from the rally yesterday, I want to actually, if everyone is okay, to take 5-10 minutes and discuss. So before anyone got in, Orlando, while he was, someone had come up to him about our voter guide and endorsing sheriff. Is it correct, Orlando? Yeah. And that they were, they have all these, aside from the fact that they're Democrats, which there usually aren't enough green candidates. I did bring up when talking to Orlando too, that Michael and I always at county meetings when it comes, the voter guides always mention, at least for the records, say that we really shouldn't be endorsing anyone who's not green, and try to bring into the debate of whether that helps or
Well,
hurts.
I would say not green so much as not Democrat.
Right, and or Republican, but yeah, we don't really have the Republican problem here in the
Right.
Bay Area,
Right.
in the county. But,
Add
yes.
on.
Sheriff, the incoming sheriff is a Republican.
Oh, really? Look at that.
Yep.
The
Well,
one that,
they-
wait, the one that the voter guys endorsed, and I admit I
No,
haven't.
no. The incumbent, the incumbent.
Incumbent.
The incumbent is a Republican.
Republican.
However,
Oh, go ahead.
if I may, I just say something about the sheriff. I actually got my voter information, with the Canada statements
Mhm, mhm.
just recently, and I was looking through it. I was impressed with this woman who's running for sheriff, Yesenia. I may be killing her name, but unfortunately, I saw that she's been endorsed by Libby Schaaf, and I said, "What's that lowered her status in my eyes? Why is Libby Schaaf endorsing this so-called radical person who put out this radical statement about what she believes, and yet she has the endorsement of Libby Schaaf? So there's something wrong there." Over.
Right. Now, if no one has it, I'm going to go do it. But does anyone have a voter guide right next to? Oh, sorry, I see Orlando's hand. But if someone has a voter guide, thank you. Who is the person that we endorsed? Thank you, Orlando.
Nancy Sanchez.
Yeah, this is Yesenia. Yeah.
Right. So the question is, a lot of people in the community is resistant because they said she was the cause of a lot of people dying in Santa Rita jail, and she's part of that same status quo. So a lot of people is get offended because they figure us as the Greens endorsed it. But like me and Vicente was talking, and I'll talk with Greg a while too, is that people need to come and see what the process about and understand what it is. So when we make a vote, because you might have voted for, I might didn't vote for, but it's a process, it's a collective. So I think on our next voter guide, we should make a senative to educate them when we having the process.
How we actually make our endorsements. You mean?
Yes.
No, right.
Yes. For them to show up at the
Sure.
meetings.
Right.
Yes, they have to, and a lot of them write in, but they don't. Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, there's actually on page 2, I think it's in the upper part of the right-hand column on page 2, I think it talks about our endorsement process. It hasn't been updated in a long time, and maybe it needs to be updated to include some of that. But if people read our voter guide carefully, they'll see there's some information on how we do make our decisions.
Yes, but I mean, as far as when you're looking at people of color, when they just see the green voter guide and they just see nothing but people that don't look like them, then it's a different exchange. So I think we engage them into the process, so no matter what color we picking, they will understand this white person ain't picking this person because of this, or this black person is not being accepted because this is a majority of a white group. And I think it's a serious conversation that we can have.
I think you're right. I think that would improve our status.
Yeah.
There's only one white guy on the screen right now.
he ain't white. He from where you from? Polish? Yeah, he white.
My grandfather was born in Kiev, Ukraine.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
there we go. That's another minority.
In the building.
Anyway,
Okay.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Vicente.
Can't hear you.
you're muted.
No, something else is wrong.
All right. No, I plugged my external speaker into the microphone instead of the actual speaker port. Doing too many things at once. You can hear me now, though.
Yeah.
The other part of it is that it's not just about looking at it in the voter guide and seeing the process of endorsements. It's also about, fucking engage, get your ass up. Don't fucking come here and bitch about something that we should or should not be doing, but then not actually go. And the other point that when we were talking, Lando said too, you didn't even come to me with the fucking voter guide. Like, did somebody just tell you this? Or did you read the endorsement? Did you read any of the reservations and all of these things? Or did someone just tell you, and you just had a bad day, so you want to come and complain and be one of those people that, oh, the alternative party, fucking doesn't get Democrats elected, which right on the bat, anything fucking for the record, that argument to me is like, well, what has the fucking two-party system done already? Tell me.
Right.
Tell me.
What,
Strikes.
what have the Democrats done for you lately?
Fuck yeah. Fucking Janet Jackson, that motherfucker. So anyway, there was that, and I wanted to get that out there too. And also, like, for the record, I don't think we should be endorsing Democrats either. I think it would save money on printing, and you could use that money for translation. Put that up for the record too. Remember, in the county council, I suggested lower it, depending whatever extra voter guides we have left over from this election cycle, reduce the number of printing by that, and use that money to make Spanish translation. We are missing fucking Foothill and International so much. Those people fucking vote. They're not just fucking hanging out. They, the shit bothers them. The education that their kids are getting, all that stuff too, right? Motherfuckers do it, right? We vote. We do. I'm those people as a raza fucking member of a colonized island. So that's a suggestion too. Anything else on that particular endorsement, that little topic? Hearing none. Now we go right into the disappointing rally. I felt it was disappointing. I should say that for the record too, recording and Instagram when it posts. So I went down, I didn't table, but went down with just voter guides. And I was sorely disappointed because it just seemed like a open air activist mall. Like, I didn't think it was, super well. San Francisco, I guess, was well attended, and other places around the country. For as radical as Oakland is, I thought it was kind of weak tea. And so I actually ended up calling Orlando going, this kind of also ties into the voter guide about endorsements, in the sense that I was going to broadcast live, right? Everyone knows I've been trying to, branch out the Greens into more social media, like we're on Instagram live right now and things. And I was like, oh, but does it hurt more than it helps the movement? And in the end, I kind of thought that it hurt the movement more, the way it looked. And anyway, so I was sorely disappointed. Was anyone else? Greg, were you there? I didn't see you.
You're talking about the Lake Merritt Amphitheater?
Yes.
No, I only read a report that said there were like 700 people there or something.
Yeah, good luck with, fuck that. No, there was not.
500, 400?
350?
Okay.
When he said 7, I was like, oh, so he just doubled it. They just fucking halved it more.
Anyway,
And even those people were gone. Well, I guess, you know what? I bet you if you counted like all the people who were operating the vending, because there was vendors all around the lake, I bet you could get 700. I bet you could. But I didn't count them.
No, I did not go to the Oakland one. I did hear that the morning protest in San Francisco had 10,000.
Yeah,
and I did hear that a reason why the Oakland one had so few is that the location was not publicly, it was not allowed to really be generally publicized to the public until Thursday, whereas the other protests were publicized, maybe on Monday. So for whatever reason, they didn't want to have that location publicized until pretty late. I did go to the 1 o'clock. The 1 o'clock protest in San Francisco was pretty small, maybe 400, 500. But I passed out, 50 or 60 voter guides there. And so apparently the San Francisco morning one was decent attendance, but overall around the country, it didn't seem like very impressive numbers to me.
Any ideas or when well, actually, I see Michael's hand first. Yes, please, Michael, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I think that that I assume that what the Oakland was doing was they were trying to not, they kept it a secret because they didn't want provocateurs. That's what I assumed. That they were afraid that there would be a counter protest or something if people if it became really public knowledge. I think that's a mistaken thinking. I think I think that you have to take your chances if you really want to turn out, and you might get right-wing idiots. There's no that happens, but you have to take your chances because otherwise you don't get the people you want to reach to come. That's all. But
So because we're a fun party as well, some of our supporters on Instagram Live are playing a drinking game to take a drink every time I say fuck. So, and my partner is saying, well, there's gonna be some drunk motherfuckers. I'm there too. Now, do you let me back to it? Do you think that it's provocateurs, or do you think it's the police? I mean, I would say I don't think Oakland is scared of, again, like fucking bring them. I remember when they did, the people came from like Contra Costa County, Walnut Creek, Alamo, over to MLK Park in Berkeley, and it was kind of a dust up, but nothing but people there were like, you should really come to Oakland. You should really come to Mosswood. Right? You should really come down to Deep South Oakland, or Deep East Oakland, as they call it. Yeah, you really should. I dare you. Please, beg you. But I mean, do you think maybe instead of provocateurs, which is, I still would agree, is a bad fucking thing. I mean, aside from the fact that the aspect of privacy that we have now is low. Is so super fucking low. Anything you text, anytime you call, all that shit. Yes, Orlando, I see your hand.
And I think that COVID played a lot of impact too, with the rising of the cases the last couple of weeks. So I think a lot of safety measures, especially around our elders, and I believe a lot of the young folks, like we said again, they was only miseducated on the hype. When they said, oh, they did the leak, but we know the leak was months ago. It's just a major media broadcast had to do it. And then we get a lot of people of color who don't understand that our privacy rights is really at stake. And they're only looking at it more as from a abortion or gay rights. They're not knowing this really is going to make a big effect when you don't have the Supreme Court, when you have states that take over, and we have some states that's not in favor of people of color. So I just think an education campaign need to be, I just think the education part, the hype, the media was there, but the education wasn't there. So that'll be my best. But I think overall, hey, we give an A for effort, A for trying, E for excellent. But we know we showed up as green. So, hey, we won.
How many voter guides did we distribute at Lake Merritt?
I did about 25 to 30.
Not bad.
Yeah, but it would have been better, but I was pretty fucking disgusted.
Well, I apologize for letting you down.
No, don't you dare. Not that. I've been disgusted at fucking the lack of engagement since fucking 2006. Like, ever since we put out that first literature piece on education and crime, that Oakland being in a state of emergency, right? Was that 2012, just before the sit-in or whatever? Anyway. Anything else on the report back from the rally yesterday? Yes, Greg.
I got something on a report back from today, which is that in the afternoon, I was able to go over to Luis Rodriguez event that was put on by Core Magazine, you know, Tiny Garcia. So it was pretty good. I mean, they must have had 60, 70 people there, and they had a bunch of people. There was people's community medics, and there was somebody actually came over from Marin, the Marin anti-homeless person, and they had a whole bunch, maybe 5, 6 speakers from different groups and activities. And then of course, Luis talked about his campaign, and then when they started the poetry session, I had to leave, you know, because it was an all-day event. They started at 11, they were going to go to 4. It's a 5-hour event, but it was very good. And you know, I had 50 voter guides with me, and passed out half of them and left the other 25 with. Luis had a table, and he was selling, you know, T-shirts and books that he's written and other material. So it was very good. Very good.
Any questions? Oh, go ahead.
I had a question. Again, I was looking at the candidate statements thing that has come in the mail to me, and I did not see that when Luis was at the state meeting, the last state meeting, asking for our endorsement, he was saying that he was going to run with this woman who was a Democrat.
Yeah, she failed. She failed to qualify.
I did. I was wondering. I didn't see her name. Yeah.
Yeah, there was some technical. I don't know exactly what happened, but you know, you either got to pay the filing fee or get enough signatures, and I think between the two, they didn't put it together. Oh, and you also have to have nomination signatures. Yeah, so I think they just didn't get all their I's dotted and T's crossed. Because
Okay.
if you haven't done it before, there's a lot of little things you got to look out for.
Right. Well, I'm glad that Luis was able to do it, and I'm not terribly sorry that she wasn't, frankly.
Actually, she was pretty fucking radical. I mean, which shows, because otherwise the Democratic Party would have put some, you know, she would have had some staff to at least get on the ballot. And the only thing, I don't even know why. I don't remember when he came over to the county meeting for endorsement. I can't remember if he did. I would have to go back and look at the recording.
No, this was at the state meeting.
Oh, the state meeting, right? Well, I'd have to go back and look at the recording to see if he said why she was a Democrat. Like, why would you do that? It just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I know, you know, I always try to go down the rabbit hole as much as possible. And I know some of that is because my political philosophy is anarchism. I don't think we should have any political parties at all. Run for office.
Well, I think, if I may, I don't know this for a fact, but I suspect Luis has been involved in the socialist movement in various groups within the socialist movement. And I suspect that this woman was also a member of one of the groups that Luis was involved with in the socialist side. And that's why he was so excited about her.
Makes sense.
But you know, she didn't do it. So
right. Orlando, you had your hand?
No, I was just gonna echo what Michael just said.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Anything else on the Luis Rodriguez event from yesterday and today? No? All right, so the next one is virtual events. So the afternoon ones, now that, especially, and I can say from talking to my relatives that are in the medical field, that this is it. Like, there's no way to wait out the pandemic. This is where we are, and anytime if we're going to have in-person events, and they agreed, and just like just that go, if you add, like, some groups are just starting to put more disclaimers that, hey, you're assuming a certain risk, because we've had these other events and tons of people have come back positive. So my concern, and I'm going to tie it into in-person events as well, that even going over to the game store, and it looks like they are still there, to go and talk to her, I feel like our group is a high at-risk group. We really haven't gotten our outreach into younger communities for our movie nights. So everyone that comes, and in fact, remember, we actually have 2 people who are immunocompromised. They come in wheelchairs. Stacy and her husband, and I cannot remember the other name off the top of my head. But anyway, so what I actually am proposing is that cancel this movie night season again, because one, I'm going to have to find a different venue, I feel. I'll go over and talk to Chris anyway. Cancel that, move the virtual events to the last Sunday in the evening, like we did last season, that are just like making up for the movie night, so that it keeps fresh in people's minds that on the last Sunday of the month, the Oakland Greens do events, and then go, it still would be maybe a little sooner, but our first event would be the last Sunday of, I want to say, July. In fact, I am right now, I mean, I don't have it in my hands yet, but this Saturday, this Monday, I should be purchasing the parts for the computer. And I bet I will have it at least able to pull up an operating system like within a couple weeks.
Right.
So those are my suggestions. Again, cancel the in-person movie nights. We can still, I'll ask Chris if we can still do, I mean, we were still doing virtually anyway, but ask if we can just do our meetings there, because it would be nice to get the fuck out the house. I think that is important, and we're small enough. But then move the virtual events to the last Sunday of the month. Computer gets up, and then I just start publicizing it as soon as we can. Any objections to those?
Well, I have a question.
Sure, go ahead, Michael.
I'm still trying to understand the timetable. From what I understand, they're going to have to be out of that building, and they're looking for a new building. And the last I heard, they had not found a new location. So the question is when do they have to shut down at their current location? And that would make a difference in terms of even our in-person
Meetings,
Oakland meetings.
Well, they published on Instagram today for their classes all the way up until August.
Oh, okay.
So that's what made me say, oh, well, I'll still go over there and ask her. I'll just ask her and tell her we're not going to do movie nights. We're going to go virtual for the last Sunday and then find out. But yes, so that's if they are moving. She did say that, if they find the new location, once they get set up, we can use it again. If not, I will also try and find other, events, donation event spaces that would let us do it. And as far as like the meetings go, there are, like, we have done it twice, like years and years and years ago, but there are a few very quiet, empty restaurants where we could meet for dinner and do our meetings there too.
Oh yeah, you're right about that.
That is an option as well. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Again, any questions about transitions on when the computer will be built and we'll be back up and running, promoting with all of our graphics and everything, anything whatsoever? Hearing none? Okay. That's too bad too, man. And we're just moved the movie season from this year over the next one, because this season was really, really good. Well, we were going to do fucking The Cotton Club. That's a great fucking movie. Ha! Let's see, and that goes right into tabling and outreach. So we've done outreach. We haven't had our actual tables yet. And I want to put up where the first under that agenda item is transitions. So instead of setting up, so the library at Fruitvale, I don't know how much traffic it gets on Saturday. Same thing with Brookfield. Doesn't do us any good to be out tabling if there's no people. So there's a couple of options to change to. Orlando brought up that when he's been doing like voter guides, he just goes and sees what events are on Facebook and then go to them. So it could be either just tabling or just sitting in a chair handing out voter guides. I really think too, it's more outreach than tabling. The tabling like stops people, but remember also that another model we're trying now is everyone, I start to smile cheekily, that my rants have put people to sleep. It goes on too. Like I said, also something fun where somebody's like, oh, every time I say fuck, because I get so passionate about this social justice movement and I don't give a fuck about cursing, that it just comes out naturally. Like I don't force it out. It's just how it comes out. And I don't know, for whatever reason, nobody seems to care. I'm sweet and innocent, so nobody seems to really complain, has ever complained about it. So we're going to be trying that too. So this is just really projecting a rant on what, like, just say some of the talking points where it would turn into a monologue. What has the Democrats done for you lately? How's the two-party system work? Is it working out for you? Are you getting the education you need? Is everything affordable? Are you getting living wages? And you take all of those issues that people are going, no, I'm fucking struggling, I'm burnt out, I'm tired, but then giving them solutions like, oh, well, did you know that, you know, the Oakland Greens actually have policies, like new systems, not fucking trying to tweak what we have, because what we have from the foundation is fucked, right? It was corrupt from the beginning. It's based on slavery, rape, blood. You just don't get that kind of energy out of things, right? And I still make the argument that we can have new systems that still have the same sort of like technology and lifestyle question. And in fact, I argue that we can lift the whole world up to a gendered standard of living.
Oh yeah.
That has it too. But anyway, so rather than, and even if we are going to table, but not having a set one. So what that means is that it would be a weekly email about where we would be the next week. So, or even like, you know, it still could actually be a schedule, but we could look at what events are coming and go, oh, well, we know we want to do Grand Lake Farmers Market because, you know, possibly we can, you know, get, you know, maybe $25 in a day. Or if we, you know, can sell the t-shirts and stuff in a public space, you know, we can get some donations doing it that way. Those people have money and they loved us before. I'm sure they'll love us again. But then after that, finding locations where we know that people are going to be, they're already at an event that probably is either music oriented, which wouldn't necessarily be social justice, but you know, you can go to Indie Bay Calendar and see what's happening in our area and go and do stuff out there too. And then it would just be like, oh, I know next week, you know, and again, just sending out extra emails, which I will do. I see Greg first and then Michael, please.
Yeah, in terms of handing out the voter guides, even if there are no events, interesting events that are worthwhile, there still are certain supermarkets and BART stations, and especially the Fruitvale BART station. I've always found, for whatever reason, the Fruitvale BART station, it seems like the people there are the most receptive and will take it more than other places. So, you know, that's something to think about.
It works for me in my area. Why we also need Spanish. Michael, yes, please.
Yes, I just wanted to be honest. My health is failing, and I'm not sure whether, I just wanted to say that it's entirely possible that you cannot count on me for this at all.
That is perfect.
And I'm not saying never, but right now I'm not in good. My strength is not great. Over.
Perfectly acceptable. I'm pretty sure that you have done your duty to the social justice movement over and over and over. So if you need to take time for yourself and your health, if anyone gives you any shit, let me know, because that's almost definitely worth getting them cursed out, but damn near for me, because I love you so much, works into that same thing with B and Phoebe when he was like really like cussing her out, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna walk over and, you know, you're all of a sudden I'm gonna become my mother. It's gonna be North Philly. It's all messy for everybody. Nobody wants that.
Well, I've been a political activist since 1963, and I'm running towards the end. You know.
Yeah, nope. Well, even me at 58, I'm a theater major, so everything comes into like movie references. But in some movie that I can't remember the name of, but Sean Connery does a line that says, I'm at a point in my life where I know I have more winters behind me than in front of me.
Yeah, indeed.
And that is just the nature of things. And yeah, so no one will fault you, but you still, you hold the voter guides for us and stuff. That's not nothing.
Well, I mean, I do things. As a matter of fact, I was on a Zoom call just before this meeting,
Right.
The Green Socialist Organizing Project. I still try to do things, but
Oh, yeah.
my strength is declining. That's all.
Yes, Orlando.
Your strength rubbed off on me. So I'm gonna keep you going, Mike, both you and Jan.
Thank you.
When I'm out there, you out there. Come on.
Thank you for your good wishes.
Yes, many blessings. And I got the voter guides. I'm gonna come by next week and grab some more, but I've been
We have 100 left.
Yeah.
We have 100 left.
okay. If nobody don't get them, save me 50.
No problem.
We got
Yeah.
3 or 4,000 up at the Berkeley office. So,
Okay.
if anybody wants to take some into Oakland, we got many thousands up here.
Well, here's another, since Michael's is a central location, would you like me, Greg, or I'm sure you don't care?
Yeah.
I'll schedule time to come by and I can drop off some more with you, Michael. Is
Yeah,
that okay?
That'd be very welcome.
Yeah, just
Okay,
let me
thank you.
know. Just let me know when you want to come by.
I'll call you. Yep.
Okay.
We don't hear you.
You're muted.
Sorry, I hit it, but it didn't work. So that takes us all the way to social media. If there's no other discussion on the tabling outreach, public areas, hearing none. So social media, again, actually is the same, even our Facebook. It's not, jumping 450% a month like it was before, but we are still positive. The last one I checked was like 152. There's still engagements. I still post from my phone and everything. And our Instagram, same. I still do stories there that could like too. Yeah. Greg, you have a question?
No. I'm just looking at.
Right. So yeah, that's all the same. If there are no questions on social media. Oh, actually, the only thing I can say too, let me add, the website is neglected because I don't have a computer that can really mess with it. I don't have graphics or anything anyway. But other than that, again, hearing none. Then next, Treasury. So I spent $100 on making sure that we had all of our stuff backed up. The hard drives are dead. Obviously, I have to build and buy the new computer. And then I did $83 on 6 waterproof containers that are going to have an updated container for our tabling. The others are going to be all for our files, all of our banking stuff. So waterproof, and then I'll keep them in my personal storage.
You left out the Treasury.
That is the Treasury. Oh, and there is, how much is left? Again, $100 was for the computer backup. No, that's my personal one. And the 83 was for waterproof containers to hold files and tabling materials, which we have now. Where is it? We are at $636 is what we have left inside of the Treasury. And I will be actually making yet another deposit as well. I've been trying to keep it like close to 1,000, just holding it there. And then it doesn't feel so bad if I have to spend $183.
Sounds good.
And eventually, we will, whoops, where'd my chat go? There we go. We will have in July, or is it June? But definitely coming up, the Zoom subscription will renew. That is $95. Not until September, October will be a small, I think it's $42 fee for web hosting, and then it's 15, will be 15, I think, no, the fictitious business name is 3 years. So that's all that's coming up. But anyway, I like to keep it up around that way. Anyone have any questions on treasury?
Let me know if you need extra money, donations.
All right, well, we always do.
Well-
And actually, if anyone wanted to, we should still try the PayPal account now that we're all legit to take donations online. There is a link directly on the website still. And you can share that too, Orlando. You can share the website. In fact, I got to, which is a social media on Instagram, where I was talking about going to the rally yesterday on a Saturday. And I was like, oh, yes. And actually, not for the SFT, but just for political stuff, I do. And you can go to the Instagram Oakland Greens, and there's a link in the bio. You can go and give money. So we do that as well. And if there's no other discussions, our final item, any announcements? Got one, Orlando?
You're doing a great job, Vicente.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, Greg. You're staying humble. Michael and Jan, you know I love y'all.
Yeah, very much.
We love you too.
Yeah.
And if there's no announcements, I move we adjourn.
Works for us.
All right, thanks,
Right.
everybody. And for our listeners, my name is Vicente Cruz. I am the Oakland Greens Event and Fundraising Coordinator, and you have either skimmed through or actually listened in the background or actually watched the whole damn thing of the May Oakland Greens Public Monthly General Business Meeting. And we'll see you next month, and we will see you virtually at the end of July. Peace out, everybody.
Wow.
Bye.
Good night, all.